Tarek barely had time to react before the human's boot sent him sprawling across the hardened soil of Valeron 5. It wasn't the force of the impact that stunned him. It was the casual way the human had done it, like swatting away a mildly annoying insect. You call this a death world? The human rolled his shoulders, surveying the environment as if unimpressed. That's adorable. Tarek gritted his teeth and struggled to his feet. His secondary heart was hammering. He had trained for cycles to prepare for combat against the so-called apex predators of Terra, but none of the data files had mentioned this. None of them had described the sheer absurdity of human adaptability. The gravity alone should be tearing you apart, Varen hissed. This planet exceeds TAN standards by 30%. Yeah, it's a little heavy, the human admitted, cracking his knuckles. But we train in worse. Ever heard of Jupiter Station? It makes this place feel like a vacation. Tarek snarled. He was a veteran of the Kaleri Dominion, one of the most feared warriors in the sector. Yet this human spoke as if superior training was a birthright. The air is toxic to most species. The native fauna can digest bone. This world has endured 4 extinction-level meteor impacts in a single millennium. Neat, the human said. You ever been to Australia? Varen hesitated. Australia? The human grinned. A place back on Earth. It's like this but worse. Venomous reptiles, giant insects, saltwater creatures that'll kill you just for looking at them funny. And the weather? Sometimes it just decides to set the whole place on fire. Tarek clenched his jaw. Your kind should not exist. That's what they keep telling us. The human's grin widened. But here we are. Tarek calculated his next move carefully. He was faster, stronger, he should have had the advantage. But none of that seemed to matter against a species that just refused to acknowledge the basic rules of survival. He had seen humans fight with shattered limbs, keep moving after what should have been fatal injuries, even joke in the face of near-certain death. I do not understand your kind, Tarek muttered. Few do. The human clapped him on the shoulder as if they were old comrades. So are we done here, or do you want another round? Tarek's pride screamed at him to continue, but his instincts knew better. This human wasn't just a warrior. He was something else, something terrifying. He took a step back, lowering his weapon. The human chuckled. Smart move. Before Tarek could reply, a distant explosion shook the ground. They both turned to see a thick column of smoke rising over the horizon. Tarek's communicator crackled to life. Emergency static. Human forces have static, sustaining heavy casualties. Static. The human sighed. Sounds like your guys missed the memo. Tarek's mind raced as the battlefield report streamed in. The Kalari warfront was crumbling under a force they had underestimated. You did not come alone, he growled. The human adjusted his gloves, glancing toward the horizon where the black smoke curled. Of course not. We don't do things halfway. Tarek activated his communicator, his voice sharp. Regroup at Sector Theta. Engage defensive measures. Reinforce our forward lines. A garbled reply confirmed compliance, but the human seemed unconcerned. That won't help. Tarek narrowed his eyes. You assume victory before the battle is over. No, the human replied, watching the distant flashes of energy weapons. I assume victory because I know what's coming next. A low rumble coursed through the ground, rhythmic and unnatural. Tarek's instincts flared with warning. It was not artillery, not an orbital strike, something else entirely. Then he saw them. They moved in perfect synchronization. Humanoid figures clad in reinforced exosuits, weapons bristling with advanced targeting systems. But it wasn't their technology that made Tarek's pulse quicken. It was the way they advanced. Like predators who had already decided the fight was over. You fight with machines, Tarek sneered, masking his unease. Cowardice. The human scoffed. Those aren't machines. They're just men who brought the right tools. Tarek had fought synthetic warforms before, but these were something else. The soldiers moved too naturally, too effortlessly. The exosuits enhanced their speed and power, but it was the minds behind them that made them lethal. "They are still flesh and bone," Tarek said. "They can be broken." The human gave him a sidelong glance. "You'd think that, wouldn't you?" Tarek signaled his forces to advance. Kaleri warriors surged forward, the ground trembling beneath their charge. Plasma fire erupted in streaks of green and blue, lancing toward the human formations. Then the turn moved. Tarek had seen effective infantry maneuvers before, but nothing like this. The humans anticipated shots before they were even fired, dodging and repositioning as if they could predict the flow of combat itself. They fired in measured bursts, cutting down advancing Kaleri with chilling efficiency. The human beside him smirked. "Your people fight like they still believe war's about numbers." Tarek bared his teeth. "We are warriors, not machines." "Neither are we," the human nodded toward the chaos ahead. "We're just very good at what we do." Tarek watched as a group of his elites attempted to flank the humans, only for the turn to respond as if they had planned for it. A single soldier turned, launching a device that detonated midair. The resulting shockwave sent the Kaleri skidding back, their armor barely holding. Before they could recover, precise bursts of kinetic rounds found weak points in their plating. Tarek cursed. "How?" "Experience," the human answered. "You're fighting like this is a war. We're fighting like it's survival." The Kaleri were disciplined, bred for war. But they had rules, strategies built on predictable patterns. The humans had no such restrictions. They fought with instinct, adapting to every shift in momentum. They weren't bound by formations or rigid doctrines. The realization clawed at Tarek's mind. He was not battling an army. He was battling something far worse. He was battling predators. His communicator crackled again, this time frantic. "Overrun, forces collapsing, fall back." Tarek's grip on his weapon tightened. His species had conquered countless systems, but here, against these seemingly fragile beings, they were unraveling. He turned to the human. "You're kind. You should not be capable of this." The human gave him a small, knowing smile. "You'd be surprised what we're capable of." The battle raged on, but Tarek already knew the truth. This war was lost. Tarek knew the war was lost, but surrender was not in his nature. His people did not yield. The Kaleri dominion had stood for centuries, unchallenged by lesser species. Yet here, in the choking air of Velron 5, the unthinkable was happening. The humans advanced with a brutality that was not born from desperation, but from confidence. They did not hesitate. They did not falter. They pressed forward as if war was a puzzle they had already solved. Tarek's communicator flickered with overlapping stress signals. The command structure was collapsing, battalions routed by small, coordinated human squads that fought like apex predators hunting their prey. It was not sheer strength or technology that overwhelmed the Kaleri. It was something far more dangerous: instinct. The human beside him, still unshaken, watched as Tarek's warriors fell back. His posture was loose, as if this battle was no more stressful than a morning drill. "You should probably call retreat." Tarek bared his teeth. "You think we run?" "I think you should," the human said. "While you still have anyone left to run." Tarek turned back to the battlefield. His soldiers had regrouped at a defensive line near the ridgeline, hurling energy blasts at the oncoming enemy. The humans, undeterred, broke formation, spreading out into smaller, mobile units that wove through cover with impossible precision. Tarek could no longer deny it. The humans weren't just winning. They were enjoying themselves. His grip tightened around his blade. If they were predators, he would show them what it meant to hunt. With a roar, he surged forward, leaping into the fray. His warriors followed, emboldened by their commander's charge. If death was inevitable, they would meet it as Kaleri should, facing their enemy head-on. Tarek struck the first human with a devastating blow, his blade carving through reinforced armor, sending the soldier sprawling. He spun, using his superior reach to knock another aside. He fought with everything in him, pushing back against the tide of Tan aggression. But the tide did not break. The humans adapted. They shifted tactics with unnatural speed, anticipating every movement. Their weapons found gaps in his defenses. Their strikes became more precise. Tarek grunted as a kinetic round struck his shoulder, sending a jolt of pain through his arm. Another impact slammed into his side. He fell to one knee, breathing hard, vision swimming. He had underestimated them again. The human from before stepped toward him, lowering his weapon. "You fought well." Tarek glared up at him, chest heaving. "Kill me and be done with it." The human shook his head. "Not how we do things." Tarek narrowed his eyes. "You show mercy?" The human crouched beside him. "Mercy? No. We don't kill when we don't have to. Doesn't mean we forget." He nodded toward the battlefield, where the last remnants of the Kalari forces were surrendering. "Take your people. Leave this world. Go home." Tarek snarled. "You think we will not return?" The human smiled, but there was no humor in it. "Oh, I'm counting on it." He stood, stepping back as more humans arrived to secure the battlefield. Tarek's warriors hesitated, looking to their leader. He exhaled slowly. There was no victory to claim here, no honor in dying for nothing. He rose to his feet. "We will not forget this." The human nodded. "Neither will we." Tarek turned away, signaling his remaining soldiers to fall back. The Kalari had learned a harsh lesson today, one that would change the way they saw the universe. The humans were not just another species to conquer. They were something else entirely, something worse,